What is going on, Marvel Rivalers? We are your podcast Marvel Rival hosts. My name is Chaos and today we have someone filling in for Chris. My boy Tucker has stepped up, and basically he's going to be filling in for Skinny Lad Chris on this episode because Chris is sick, sadly, and he had lost his voice and he's not feeling well. So we decided to pick up someone random and help us out. And Tucker, thank you. Welcome on board. Give a little introduction. Tell people who you are, what you do, who you main.
Well, thank you for having me. First and foremost, prayers out to Chris. Hopefully Chris starts feeling better soon. But it is great to be here. I am what you might call an off tank main. Chaos has been trying to get me to play main tank and shield for months now, but I have way more fun playing off tank and playing Brawly. So I played a lot of like Thor and Thing. Not really feeling Thor as much this season, but I've been playing a lot of like Hulk and Captain America when Hulk's not banned, of course. But I like playing more of the divey kind of run in, try and get out. You can get out if you're Captain America. Some of the other characters, not so much. But that is pretty much the gist of what I do. And, it's fun. I love Marvel Rivals probably as much as you guys, if maybe more. Who knows?
And if you guys can, please go follow him on Twitch. Go follow him on YouTube. This is episode 36. We'll have your information in the description below. But yeah, episode 36 of the podcast. This is our 9-month anniversary of the podcast. It's
podcast baby.
That's 3/4 of the year, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, technically, this game has officially been out. If you want to count the alpha, it's been out a year now, and strongly, going forward. So, in this episode, we're going to be covering the skins. We're going to be covering the event modes that we've recently had and that are currently going. And then Tucker and I are going to be discussing hero ban percentages, something that we haven't really covered so much on this. But, a lot of people right now are still struggling to find who to main and not know who is good, who to look out for. Ban percentages obviously give you a pretty good idea of, what to play in the current meta. I mean, me personally, I'm like 95% win rate on Rocket, right? And the character is really good right now, at least in my eyes. We'll see how those percentages look out, on a bigger, wider, broader scale. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and start off with the skins. Tuck, I know you love your cosmetics. So for those that don't know, me and Tuck met in the Marvel Snap card game community. And Tuck collects a lot of variants over there. He loves his Marvel content when it comes to variants, skins, all that. So, Tuck, we just got announced the brand new skins for Rocket and Squirrel Girl. What are your thoughts, my dude?
So it is great, just summer vibes, opposed to just the Krakoa kind of gala stuff we've had these past couple weeks. We do have a beach-themed Squirrel Girl, and we have the beach-themed Rocket with the rubber ducky grenades is what it looks like. These are really, really awesome. The Rocket skin may not necessarily be my favorite, but I like that it's unique. Like, it doesn't feel like it's just...
I look at the demeanor on his eyes. They're so good. He's just...
Which is cool. No, this man, oh my goodness. I was gonna say, what's cool about these skins overall though is like the Rocket and the Squirrel Girl are similar color schemes. Yeah. Like you see a lot of the green and stuff with Squirrel Girl, and that green is also on Rocket's gun. And like then the other, like the whites and then like the more tan kind of colors, they kind of mesh well. So it has really good theming with each other. Of course, you would think they're releasing the same week. They might as well have the same theming like you've seen when it comes to like the Hell and the Loki this past week. The only one that's been weird is like, of course, the Bucky and the Black Panther didn't go hand in hand, but of course, Thunderbolts just came out, so they wanted to put out a Thunderbolt skin, so I get it. But,
dude, I'm not gonna lie, this might be the first Squirrel Girl skin I've actually liked.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan.
The punk
skin? The punk skin's cool. Don't get me wrong, it's okay. I think it's actually one of the better punk skins. I think that one and the Hulk one are good.
Really?
I'm not a crazy fan for the Magic, but I do own it. But I'm not like... Wow. I think that's one of the better MVP screens. I'm just not a big fan of the bangs. That's just me. That's just from
Okay.
just my cup of tea. But the Squirrel Girl, I think this is one of her better skins. I feel like a lot of the other skins just weren't really my cup of tea. But the Rocket skin, oh man, I love this. I hope they're legendary, and I do hope that the duck has like there's some kind of like, I hope that is like his respawn orb, like a duck opens up or something. That'd be pretty funny. Or like when he shoots his like heal orbs, they're ducks bouncing.
That'd be really funny. His jetpack though is literally Super Mario Sunshine jetpack.
Yes.
Like, there's literally water in the jetpack, which is really cool. I do like that touch.
Yeah, but we'll have to see what the Squirrel Girl. I am a little over like the more recent ones that we've been getting, like the lunar. They kind of come off as like the Peach Momoko or the lunar skins. I'm kind of burnt out on that. I kind of want to see more themed of like summertime and stuff like that. But with that being said, I mean, they're still. Don't forget to buy these guys in the shop. They're coming out, I think this week or next week on the 9th, which is in 3 days. Then we have the Bucky skin. I mean, obviously, who's gonna say no to the Winter Soldier? I mean, take my money again. Take it again.
You sounded way more enthused than he did during the trailer.
Yeah, look at how. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I saw that movie 3 times. 3 times. And my brother on the second one, he goes, "Dude, why are you sweating?" I'm like, "This is my second time watching this movie. I already know what's happening." Oh, sweating.
Oh man.
But no, that movie phenomenals, and they are changing the name. Are you aware of that?
I did see they actually like did a live reveal for it, and they're changing all posters and stuff now.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
They haven't done that for many movies. Did you know that one of the first movies to do that is Star Wars?
Really?
Yeah, Star Wars Episode 4 originally was just called Star Wars A New Hope. But then after a while, they called it Episode 4. They didn't want people to think that they were missing out on something off the rip. So there's a couple movies that done that. Mission Impossible did that, but yeah, very, very, very rare thing. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the event modes. The Big Head mode just got done, and we are currently in the, I think, Gala event. Like this, I guess you can choose. There's like some event going on right now where you can get some new skins for like the Wolverine. You can get the Wolverine patches skin for free if you do the challenges. Also, you can vote for your favorite skin, and the winner of that will get a brand new skin that you will get next year. Next year. Yeah. Why next
year?
Well,
the gala's once a year, so they're gonna get a new Gala skin next year. They don't want to just like rush a skin out, I don't think, this year. So they kind of just have prep and maybe make it the best skin in the game. Maybe that's why they're making you wait have an entire year.
They are planning content out in a year. I can't knock it. Who are you voting for? Out of curiosity. This is the topic. I'm so divided for everyone.
So like the bias in me wants to vote for Hulk because I love the Hulk skin.
Okay.
And it looks awesome. But I know people are trying to bribe me to do Emma, so Emma gets another new skin next. But I don't know. One of those. I do like the Cloak and Dagger actually a lot though. The Cloak and Dagger is really nice.
I personally, I'm biased. You already know what I'm going to say.
America.
Yeah, Captain America. I mean, it's not the best skin, but I just want another skin. But with that being said, it is a nice skin. If I were to be really honest, who do I think is actually the best? I think it's a tie between the Hulk and I'm not going to say Cloak and Dagger. I feel like that skin, and this is just me. I was talking about this with my other friends, and I'm wrong. I'm actually wrong about this, but I feel like we've had that skin already.
I think you're kind of, it's the same vibe for the cloak in the like Western kind of theming skin. Yeah. I think that's what you're kind of seeing a lot of.
But it is cool because this is the first inverted one that we've had where she's wearing black and he's wearing white, which is nice. Yeah. That's a nice offset. But I don't think we need another Cloak and Dagger skin. We need some heroes to get some love like Hulk. Maybe. I'm not going to say Emma.
The Black Widow, actually, I do like a lot.
Black Widows is my other one. Black Widow is fire, dude. That one is super good. I do like the Black Panther, but I'm gonna vote for Cap because I want more Captain America skins. Who do I think is the real winner? I think it's the Hulk. Hulk is like I think the best detailed one out of all of them. Mr. Fix It himself, can't go wrong. So I don't know. I've also had some people bribe me about the Emma. They're like, "Oh, she needs more skins." It's like she just came out. She'll probably get more. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to.
We need more Spider-Man skins, right? That's what we need more than
more Spider-Man skins. Yeah, right. You know what? I was actually been saying this. We need more Punisher skins. You know that he only has like 3 skins, 3 or 4 skins
in total, really.
Yeah,
like, there's the Peach skin, maybe that's in the comic, the Peach comic, but like, who knows? They've added the other comics.
We need a Hero for Hire skin.
Yeah,
the trench coat original. I mean, the guy hasn't gotten genuinely any skins at all, like at all. Like you go look at it, he doesn't have any. He just has his 2099 and then some recolors, and that's it. But other than that, I would say that go vote, go pick what you want. Did you try the big head mode?
I played a little bit of Big Head mode. I do know that you played a lot of Big Head mode. How did your Big Head mode go?
3 top 500s.
3
last session. I got the Captain America on the first one, and I got top 100. I actually got like 32nd or 20, somewhere between 26 and 32. I can't remember. But I got into like the top 32 area, which top 100 is given a massive Captain America brain, massive brain, or whatever you call it, or it's monster. Sorry, massive monster brain. I don't know what it's called.
Oh, okay.
You get one for top 100, and I got that one. And this time I was like, I'm not gonna go for a monster. It's just a lot of grinding. Besides, but the time I got on from work, people were already well into the 100,000s this time around, and I couldn't fathom that. I got Groot, Black Widow, and Hela. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a blast.
I'd say with Hela, you just 2-tap everyone, right? Like you're literally just
no. Groot, you can 2-tap in that mode.
Oh, really?
If you hit headshots with Groot, they do hella damage. Like, no pun intended. They do hella damage. Like, they do crazy amount because they do crit modes. If you hit the head in that game mode, even if you're punching and you're aiming at the head, as long as your crosshair is on the head, it will count as a headshot. And you can 2-tap squishies, just punch 2, and it just kills them. And it's so funny because I'm walking around 2-tapping everything, and it throws everyone off. But yeah, the game mode was pretty fun. But all right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into these percentage modes. So I don't really have a thumbnail. I'm sorry, chat, for this. I don't really have a thumbnail for this one. I didn't really have an idea of how to be creative with this. But we're going to go ahead and pan over to this website that we have here. So me and Tuck are going to be talking about the heroes that have the most pick rate and the least pick rate. And then we're going to be talking about how often they're picked and how often they are winning. Now, we're going to kind of go over this because this is a lot of stats to read, but we had to use a third-party website to kind of follow this for now, and there's nothing wrong. Some of this may be accurate, some of this may not be accurate, but this is no different than if we were to be doing a tier list to some degree. Now, me and Tuck are going to kind of go little by little. We're not maybe not cover every single person, but we'll briefly talk about it. We're going to be talking about the highest win rate with their pick rates, okay? And starting it off, we're going to be kind of just giving a discussion, basically, like what our thoughts are on this. Off the rip, Storm has the highest win rate. And this part threw me off when we were first glancing at this. Tuck, she only has a 4% pick rate. What in the earth, dude?
I think it's because the Thor team up doesn't exist anymore. Even though she didn't necessarily need the Thor team up to be able to do the damage she does. Right. But since there's better people to ban now than Storm, people are slowly, very slowly picking her up. I mean, her ban rate also is 0.3%. So it's not even with her pick rate being only less than 5% that she's getting banned every game. It's that people just aren't playing the character, but when they do, I think it's the amplifier she gets with the speed as well as the damage that really just helps the team overall. And I mean, we have a friend who's freaking disgusting on Storm, and I think we could tell why the win rate is
Oh,
as high as
who
it
is that
is.
person? I wonder
That's gonna be
who.
Mocha. Mocha's freaking gross on
Yeah,
Storm,
he's
but
ranked
it's
like
crazy.
between 5 and 7 right now in the world on Storm, and I feel like personally, about most of those matches are just from him alone. I mean, the character, and it's funny because it's rated a B tier hero, but I will say, I think that's based on it's just the pick rates, right? Like the pick rates, it's not picked a lot, still winning like even though they're not picked, the percentage of how high is ridiculous. Now, the first S that I see here is Rocket Raccoon, and he has a 53.66% win rate. And he has played in just beneath half of the amount of games. So in most of your games, you have pretty much like, even like if you don't have him in half of your matches, you're still like the percentage of you winning with him is going to be going up. That's actually pretty insane considering that last season he just, you would roast someone for touching the hero. Now he's S tier.
Yeah, no, I mean, the way this character plays functionally now, yes, like he had the Bucky team up last year, but you weren't really, or not last year, last season, but you weren't necessarily using the Rocket for the Bucky team up. The res is so crucial now, and I think the overshield you get with the ult, even though the damage has been decreased on the ult itself, is just incredible. And it's not necessarily that too, like also the way you can heal someone, you actually have to aim more with Rocket now, which really helps. Like the ricochet, I know there was the tech where people are, bouncing the orbs on the ground, so it hit your feet and then it would bounce up into you, so you get double the healing in that second. It just feels like this character is maybe a little bit more technical right now, even though like he did lose a jump as well for his movement. It's just the character's good, and like what he does, like Punisher still with Rocket is a very good force to be reckoned with, even if Groot is banned almost every game.
Yeah. The only thing that you have to watch out for when that happens, though, is just Magneto. But I mean, even in the higher levels right now, like the tournaments, have you noticed that they've been banning Mag and Groot?
Yep, they've been banning both to just be free. Like
that's insane. I didn't think I'd ever see Magneto's like a necessary like evil. Like you want him on your team for the protection, right? And both teams will agree to like be okay with that. At the same time, like he's not an oppressive hero, but he's just the tank that kind of makeshifts all for what you need him to be. So he's just kind of like, he's just there. He protects, he bubbles, he does everything he kind of need to be. But the next one, I'm kind of shocked about this, Tuck. We have Mantis. She has an 11% pick rate with a 53% win rate. That is what?
So I think it's because res comp has still been really solid, even though you may not see it a lot necessarily in like maybe the lower elo kind of games, but you see it more in some of a tournament style setting because of the way Adam Warlock works as the anchor in that team up. You're able to play Mantis a little bit more DPS style too, by the way she heals and the way she gets her healing regeneration back as well.
Yeah.
So you're able to kind of pick people off in that sense. She did get a little bit of a buff also with this last patch, but I think like her just damage output is actually pretty good for a healer itself. I mean, the headshot multiplier being what it does.
Yeah.
So I think that's another reason why her win rate's up. But I think more people play Mantis when there is an Adam kind of comp, and it's easier probably to jump onto a Mantis than it is an Adam, which is why we don't see Adam in anywhere like in this top 10 percentile of win rate, because people are like, I can just play Adam, but like there's a difference in like what you actually have to do as an Adam than kind of what you have to do as a Mantis, if that makes sense.
Right. No, that makes sense. I mean, a lot of these two, like we're doing by all ranks right now. We're not we're not going to be going over like the, this is gold, this is diamond, this is. I don't really want to cover all of that because we might be here all day with that. But for the most part, I mean, I do kind of want to briefly like look at least what's the top 5 for each one.
Yeah.
But let's go over the first top 5 over these. So once we get past Hulk, We'll briefly look at these, and then we'll go back to the main list, and that'll kind of give us more of a distinctive like how the game is evolutionizing between Bronze to Celestial or Eternity. So, Mr. Fantastic, I'm actually really happy. This dude is doing well now with his new buffs, and I feel like he's genuinely a good hero now. He is now going to be having a 53% win rate, and he is picked, I believe, 13% of matches. People have really grown accustomed to wanting to play Mr. Reed Richards himself, man. What's your thoughts on him? What do you think about him?
So what's really interesting is I know there's two sides of the story right now. There's the people that think dive is super crazy and super oppressive, and then there's other people that think dive has all these counters now, so you can't play dive. And I think Mr. Fantastic really helps the argument of people thinking, dive isn't oppressive. I think dive's okay as it is right now. Like, it just really just depends on where you're at in like your rank, whatever, if people are actually going to be able to respond to the dive or not, because that really helps determine a game. Because if you can kill a diver, before things happen, KO a diver, then you're able to, move on. But Mr. Fantastic having the slow ability is really solid, whether it is to help the front line, whether it's to help the back line. Like, there's so many different ways you can use Mr. Fantastic. He's versatile, so you don't necessarily have to have two tanks. He can kind of off tank with you, and he's tanky. He also has really like solid range for what he does as a brawler. Like, he really has kind of transcended from where he was last season to now. And it's really interesting because all the Fantastic Four characters are now playable in season 2, opposed to their main season, them not being really all that playable when it comes to like Mr. Fantastic and Human Torch. But this guy adding the armor to, your teammates as well, he feels good. And I feel like he still is a bit mechanical. You can, of course, jump on and try and use him and stuff. But like, the people who can really use Mr. Fantastic are scary.
Yeah. I mean, it's just an unkillable thing. Like, the second he gets himself into a bad situation, he just goes into inflate mode, and then your healers just top you off, and you're basically back into the fight, refreshed, ready to go. And you can buy yourself enough good time with your big man mode to get to the point of, getting that cooldown back. And he's just a recycling god at this point with his damage reduction and all that other stuff that he applies to himself, like the shield add-on and all that with his grab. I don't know, man. The character is good. I've been playing him a little bit here and there, just kind of dabbling. He's fun. He's a good time. What I do find that is insane, though, is that he is picked within, like, pretty much a little bit above almost 15% of matches. Like, 13% pick rate that's kind of high. So, the next on the list is going to be Hulk. Now, I'm actually shocked about this because I don't think Hulk is good right now. I don't actually think he's good. And the only reason it is that I feel like whenever I'm playing Hulk or going against a Hulk, and the Frost beats him, the Thing beats him, like, there's just too much CC in the game right now that just beats him. I mean, Mr. Fantastic can kind of ruin him too. You have Mantis that can sleep him. I mean, the list just goes on. Luna can freeze him. Like, there's just so many things. Once Emma gets a hold of you and she peels, it's rough. Now, granted, I know that he has a great team up with Iron Man and Namor, but it's just, I don't know, to get good use out of Hulk right now is kind of hard.
Yeah, I think the Hulk situation, like the way we're looking at the stats right now, I'm wondering if this is also just maybe from like a diamond and below kind of win rate right now. Like, I feel like once you get to that higher rank, like the Namor team up is good, but you can just kind of, you kill the squids. And like, if you kill the squids, it kind of, just disrupts what Namor's trying to do. And so it looks like it's probably like the Hulk games have to be a Namor game too. Like, I don't think this Hulk win rate is just because you have a Hulk on your team. I think you have one of the other team ups.
I think it's I think the team up is what really elevates him. But I mean, the fact that he has a 35% ban rate. I mean, so when he is on the field, he's definitely impressive. I think people really play Hulk for the team up purely. I don't think.
Besides me, I play it because I love Hulk.
I actually really like playing Hulk, but he is very struggling in this current meta just due to the CC control that there is in the game. Like, don't get me wrong, like, he's not terrible. He's not. Yeah. I mean, I think he's just a really difficult tank to get good use out of. Really hard currently especially with Emma. So that is the top 5 just for global. Let's go ahead and I want to peek at bronze real quick. So in bronze, still the same, but not in the same list. Mr. Fantastic reigns. Mr. Fantastic's the Brawn Destroyer. Oh man,
He is. He's the new Spider-Man.
He's the new Spider-Man, but different web slings. So it's interesting. It's the same top 5 now. Silver. Oh god. Black Panther just out of the cuts, bro. He actually flanked on this actual tier list. He actually flanked on this tier list. Him and Magic are coming out of nowhere. It's crazy. Storm is a pretty still popular win percentage. I mean, she's not picked often, but Rocket's still kind of carrying the leaderboards there. But I like how. Let me see here. His ban rate. Nobody bans Black Panther.
Can't. This is silver, so there's no bans in silver right now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, so he runs rampant. Silver, Black Panther, and Magic. And then you get into gold. Magic.
Which is crazy to me because I think Magic gets hard countered more by Emma than the Hulk does because at least Hulk has a shield potentially.
Oh yeah, you catch her on a teleport and it's donezo. But 55 win percentage. She's picked 10% of matches. Storm, Raccoon, Hulk, kind of getting boosted there. Mr. Fantastic. Okay, and then Platinum. This is where I think things are going to start changing. Iron Fist is still on the come up, and then we have Magic. Man, people really like playing Magic right now. I don't even see her all that much. Storm. So you know what I'm noticing here though is a couple of flyers that are appearing. Flyers are good. Yep. Storm, Iron Man, Magic, Rocket, Hulk are still high win percentages. The pick rate for Rocket goes to 50%, almost 50%. Hulk in Platinum 10%, and then the ban rate for Hulk is still really high. Then we get to Diamond. And then, holy, we have a shift. Okay, so it goes from Storm, Magic, Iron Man, Captain America, and then finally we see Boy Fire himself, the Human Torch. Human Torch, man. Okay, so there's a character that we haven't gotten to talk about yet. This character you don't want in your matches. No. This character is unbelievably frustrating to fight against just because of his CC control on the ground is unbearable. And I'm kind of curious. People don't really let him ever. He is number 1 in my opinion picked. He is banned 24% of matches. Followed up with Captain America. People are liking Cap right now, really strong. Then we get into Grandmasters, kind of the same. Mantis in the Grandmaster range, 55% win rate. There is something that I'm missing here, bro.
Look at the bans in Grandmaster too. The bans are actually
0.04. And then no one bans. Obviously, Magic is still. Man, I need to start playing some Magic. What am I doing? I gotta hop on these win percentages, man. Captain America.
You can ban Emma.
Yeah, if you ban Emma, I'm surprised Emma is I mean, she's played so much at these higher levels, but we're gonna get cut back into her in a second. Storm has been an all-time player here in this and then see here. Okay, so now hold on. Am I seeing did your eyes widen too?
Yes.
What is this? What am I looking at? Okay, so there's someone's cooking in the high Celestials. We have Penny Parker with the highest
alarm's going crazy.
Okay. So and she's picked actually 2%. It's not even a low amount. It's a decent 2%. There's got to be some people playing this. There's got to be some Penny Parker tech that we don't know about. Are people playing her for the captures?
Well, she's top 3 lowest pick percentages actually right now.
Yeah, but the
Moon
win
Knight's
rate.
at 1.89 and Squirrel Girl's at 1.28, but both of them have 40 or less % win rate.
Holy.
It's pretty rough.
So Iron Fist, I mean, every time you have him on your team, obviously it's 54 win percentage is insane.
He's top banned in Grandmaster and Celestial.
Yeah, 30% ban rate. Mantis has a 54% win. We just need to start playing more Mantis. So there's something about this hero. She's great. 0.16% ban rate. So she's never getting banned.
Mm-hmm.
and she's winning percentages pretty good. And they're going up in for their percentages. Like win rate change has gone up in value by
Yep.
2%, 3%, 1%, and 4%. And then you still have Magic, which she's going down. But
Something I want to note too is when you're looking at Celestial as well, and you're looking at ban rates. Right now, Magneto has a 0.4% ban rate in Celestial. But when we were talking about like tournament setting and stuff, I know
right,
when people are doing scrims, they do get 3 bans instead of 2, and I think that might also have an impact on what characters they ban.
right.
In that sense, so I would be interested to see how if you go to like a Celestial Eternity one above all ranking and they maybe get 3 bans instead of 2, how that would also impact the meta. That would be something really interesting to think about.
It's interesting to see here that Magneto has a 39% pick rate in
Yep.
Celestial, and then Doctor Strange at an all-time low 10%.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
insane. And then Eternity, everyone just is a winner here. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because I don't think
I'm
in
not gonna.
Eternity
Yeah,
there's probably a handful of people. Yeah, because if you look at the matches, like Emma Frost is in the lead with 8 matches in Eternity, so it looks like people are still following into like the Celestial range when it comes to
yeah.
more of the top
No
500 people.
one's here yet in a
Yeah.
consistent rate. But I mean, dang. All right.
That's,
Well, okay. So they're going back to the now all. I do
Mhm.
find it interesting that Magic. I'm gonna be honest. I don't see Magics ever, and she has a solid win rate. And apparently she's picked a good decent amount of times. Like she's picked more than Iron Man and Hulk.
Mhm.
She's about the same picked rate as Mr. Fantastic across the board. That's actually really interesting. I mean, people really like Magic then. And then we have Penny Parker. Penny Parker is a B tier, 52%, 11 pick rate. She's never banned. That's actually phenomenal.
I mean, I don't know why you would ban Penny,
I
but
mean, she's broken, bro. Come on now.
I don't know if she's necessarily broken, but like if you are you are him or like the Lisan Alhaib, like then like your guy's gross. Like if I were in a match against Cringe Alarm, I know Cringe would just freaking run it
So
because like they play Penny all the time.
one of the things that and I do want to kind of pick here is that although they have a high win percentage and sometimes a
Hmm.
low percentage of wins, I notice a lot of the popular heroes tend to have lesser win percentages
Yes.
because they're played so much more frequently. And that's something that people
Yes.
like I need to understand. It's not like these characters, you pick this character, you're going to have a higher chance of winning. You do still need to be respectfully like good in your respectable rank. But
Hmm.
I mean, the win percentage is high with these lower
Hmm.
picks. These are niche picks that are
Yep.
seemingly still winning and doing well. One thing that I do want to note is that Iron Fist is at a 50% win rate, and he's picked 11% of the time. Sorry, I skipped one. I'm going to skip Thor because Thor's Thor.
We can skip Thor.
Loki,
Hmm.
51 percentage, but he's picked 23% of the time.
Hmm.
Thoughts?
So it's very interesting. Like I remember when we were talking about it, Loki did get the nerf and like the biggest patch where his runes went to 30 seconds from 25 seconds. But like this still is a very mechanical character that you like really need to know like positioning is like super important, like where to get your heals off, where to be able to run away from, when to copy an ult, like what ults to copy. And I think some people are like, "Oh, it's Loki. I've seen someone, beat me with Loki before. I can just pop up and play Loki." And I think it's something that like isn't just easy to do. Like you really have to be kind of like good with just like your positioning overall as a person playing Marvel Snap to be able to be successful.
Marvel
So
Snap?
even not Marvel Snap, Marvel Rivals. See, I can't talk right now. But like with Marvel Rivals, like you had to be really like I don't know. Positioning is everything in this game, and this is a very position heavy character. So
Yes.
yes, the win rate is above 50. But like with the pick rate,
That's
you gotta think,
that's actually a pretty high pick rate and still
Hmm.
able to win. Like, I mean, granted, both teams will be trading.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with Loki right now. The thing is that your clone usage, your
Hmm.
totem usage, your you have to be very scarce about when you're using them. He is a very hard character to use, especially if you have a flyer in your team. What I've learned is
Yes.
that Loki is not strong with healing flyers on his team. You really got to put that respective role on your teammate, the other healer,
Hmm.
because
Yep.
he just lacks. I mean, he can do it. It's just hard.
Hmm.
It's really hard because of his projectile. But I do find that Loki is a pretty big, character. I find that it's interesting that he only has a 2%, almost 3% ban rate. I feel like you get rid of this character and a lot of people are going to start struggling.
Yeah, I wonder. Like, it's really interesting going from last season to this season, where healers were actually getting banned in more games. Whereas, like, now you're banning more tanks. You're banning your Hulk, you're banning your Groot, potentially an Emma, or you're banning DPS. Like,
Right.
healers are not getting banned unless you necessarily have a heavy dive comp yourself.
Right.
So I think that's something to note, which is just the way the meta has kind of shifted, that we'd rather take away some of these damage dealers opposed to these people that are able to keep them up potentially indefinitely. Just even with runes or Soulbond being on a crazy cooldown now too, like it's just something that's different going from 1.5 to 2.0.
I do find it funny is that in this list here,
Mm-hmm.
Loki, Iron Fist, Human Torch, Emma, Adam, and Groot are seemingly all like categorized next to each other, and it's
Mm-hmm.
insane because Human Torch, obviously he's a 50% win rate. He gets picked 7% of matches, but his ban
Mm-hmm.
rate is like 20% of matches. Like he's just
Yep.
and like the second you let him get through, you regret it. And
Mm-hmm.
then you're back to permabanning him all the time. I would say respectfully, he's probably the number one pick that I see across the board on my matches. Like he's always first on both teams. Going into
Yeah.
Emma, man, the new heavy hitter, she is A tier. She's
Mm-hmm.
wins 50% of her matches. She's picked 37%. Holy, are you not
Mm-hmm.
playing Emma? Like, if you aren't playing Emma right now, you're missing out. I think this character is going to get nerfed. I think her choke slam is going to get nerfed. They're either going to decrease the cooldown time, or they're going to decrease her like punch. Like, she just hits way too freaking hard. Choke slamming, dive, peeling for your team, choke slamming people, and then kicking them to the curb. Jesus Christ, Tuck. Jesus Christ.
Do you think they increase the cooldown so you can only use it once per diamond form?
That that wouldn't be bad. I mean, once you go into diamond form, make those
Mm-hmm.
cooldowns longer. I mean, you can get
Yeah.
one. You can get about two, sometimes almost three kicks in one diamond, and
Yeah.
you can get two grabs if you get one in the beginning and then get one towards the end. You can really make it so that someone cannot play the game. Like you have to get away from her. You can't get close. She's just lethal, and I do think that her ult isn't in a bad spot. I think her ult's
No.
manageable. It's just more of a line of sight thing. It's like pretty telegraphed. I think her
Mm-hmm.
main issue is that her diamond form is just too strong and it's too versatile, and there's no real downside to using it. She's just strong.
Yeah, I think the diamond form, maybe not once. I saw like maybe the choke only once per diamond form, but maybe two kicks. I think because yeah, you can get three kicks, and if you time it right, you can get another grab at the very end. I think you have like a second or two to spare
Yeah.
in a diamond form to be able to CC. But I think maybe that's the tweak. I don't think like her beam damage needs to be adjusted or her shield health bar needs to be. I think it is just her diamond form is so good, which is why I think, because like we're looking right now still at the broad, these are all ranks when it comes to Emma. If you look at the higher rank, she has a higher win rate and is considered S tier, because the people that can land the grabs and also the soul grab, because the soul grab has a very narrow hitbox as well for you to be able to get that out of someone.
Yeah.
That's where you really see her scale, which I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do anything to her and like we don't get any crazy buffs or anything in like the 2.5 patch in the future. She gets a higher ban rate because surely they do something to Groot to make Groot more playable so they don't ban Groot every game, right?
I do. So Emma, I mean, I'm using her right now just because
Hmm.
I'm forced to. At the higher levels, if you want to win, I'm okay with just being a top tier, character user. I have
Right.
fun with her. I'm getting a little burnt out on her just because of like it's kind of the same.
Hmm.
Although it is a pretty cool kit that she has, I find to be more fun
It's a little
using.
boring.
It's a little boring. Choke slamming with Mama sometimes can be a little repetitive. But I do want to start playing other things. I'm getting a little like antsy. I've been playing too much tank. I have been playing more
Mm,
Rocket. I hit rank 1 on the leaderboards with Rocket on the tracker website for like a day, and that was pretty
it's
cool.
awesome.
I actually really enjoy playing him. I do. Even though you're heal body, I've hit eternity with DPS. I've hit eternity with tank. I do want to hit it with support this season, especially with supports being at an all-time low. So Adam Warlock, he got buffs, but I still think that this is one of those heroes that's like it's just one of those skill check heroes where
Yep.
you know
Team
he
comp too.
he's just at the higher levels, higher comps, he's going to be great. At the
Hmm.
lower levels, you're probably not going to pick him because you're not
Yeah.
going to know like what his main true purpose is. But he has lower than 50. He's at 49.33, and he's picked
Hmm.
at 13% of the matches. He's never really banned, so he's pretty average. Groot, on the other hand, Groot is, man, I'm
The
so
most banned
upset.
character in the game.
The most banned character at 41%. Is that the most banned? That is the most
Hmm.
banned. I don't think there's anyone higher. Yeah,
And
this
I think
this
those Groot Hulk.
poor tree, man. He just wants to reign, bro. He just wants to reign like the rainforest, dude. And no one's letting him. Poor guy. I love my Groot, but this breaks my heart, even though he's broken his shit. Um, yeah, I mean he's just strong. He gets 10% of pick rate. I mean, understandably though, a lot. I mean, today I had my first game where I genuinely just I got diffed by Groot, and I haven't had that experience in a while, and I was like, all right, I see it. I see it now. It's not fun. And then our friend Black Panther. I
Hmm.
feel like this dude is like people are still banning him. That's crazy. 4%, 3%. He doesn't win often. Don't play this character. If you play this character, I feel like you're just throwing. I just think you're throwing. Like there's no room for him right now. There's no place. Am I wrong?
I mean, if you can't play his kit across any comp, I think you don't play him. I mean, like he's still like the tickle monster. But like if you can hit your stuff, sure. But like if you can't hit your spear, like it's definitely not, the character to play right now.
I'm gonna say this. If you are not him, you need to recognize that you're not. You're not the main character. I love playing Black Panther as much as the next. But in terms of a comp setting, I'm sorry, guys. Don't throw your people's matches with this hero. And look. Even if you are great on him, you existing is going to make your team mad, and that's
Hmm.
not your fault. It's not.
Yep.
Like you could be the best Black Panther, but genuinely saying this, you existing the character in a pre-game lobby, your teams are going to like go, this guy better be him or I'm just going to be mad from the start. And just know that comes with the stigma of using that hero. Doctor Strange. This man has seen better days, Tuck.
Hmm.
He's seen better days. He's sitting at a 49%, seen less than 20% of matches. Still played a good handful, but he is not like the other.
No, it's like even though he has increased health at the moment since he's the anchor of the Scarlet Witch team up, they were like the damage reduction that like the damage nerf he received has been huge. Even though also his ult did get, buffed. It lost or it's now 3100 instead of 3400 so you can get it more frequently.
Right.
Him not being able to just one shot, all the time supports once he is full on his charge, and just the projectile damage has really impacted the character a lot because he was also, one of the main kind of poke tanks opposed to all of the brawly tanks we have. And now, of course, you have Emma and Emma's beam, if you can charge it up and it charges through shields, and if she can just burn through the strange shield, Like, you just play Magneto instead because, the shield doesn't take any damage. And then you can also bubble yourself and bubble your teammates. Like, it's just, yes, he has extra health, but he does not feel at all like the same Strange we had in season 1 or season 0.
Yeah, I feel like he's still not the worst thing in the world, but like
Yeah.
he's just you just there's no place for him because Groot kind of he's just too good right now. Emma just chokeslammed him
Hmm.
through his shield.
Yep.
Magneto is just a better version of what he's trying to be. It's a lot of that. Now, another one that I find very interesting is that Psylocke has a
Hmm.
48 win percentage. I thought
Yep.
this character would have been better, but across the field, like this character is rough across all ranks. And she's only picked 12% of the time. That's insane. Why? She's so
So
good.
she's good, but like I still think the change from season 1 to 1.5 where she targeted shields besides targeting bodies really affected the player and like the character itself. Granted, it was busted that it was targeting people through shields.
Right.
But I think also people are like, oh, it's Emma team up. I should play Psylocke. But like she's a 5-star hero. Like, of course, yeah, the hero stars, of course, don't necessarily mean everything. But like, there's certain ways people try and play Psylocke that just aren't the way to play Psylocke. Like the way people are trying, maybe they're flanking a little bit too much instead of it's off angle or playing frontline and just chunking tanks so you can have ults to force healer ults. I don't feel like people are playing Psylocke that way, and I think that's dropping your play rate because people are like, oh, she's got this really cool skin. I'm just gonna play Psylocke. Oh, I got an Emma. Like, I feel like people are just hopping on this character to play this character because they have a team up where they're not taking the time to learn, like, I need to get out of this here, I need to go into invis here. Like, they're just not playing Psylocke the way she's supposed to be played. They're playing her the way
I
they
can see
think she
that.
should be played.
I mean, shoot, you put me on Psylocke and we're about to run the town, dude. Another character that I find pretty interesting that is not doing so hot is Hela.
Yep.
That's interesting because I mean, without a doubt, Hela's she busted.
Yep.
But I will say I think a lot of people try to play this character. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people pick a player because they know she's the best,
Yep.
but realistically, they're not them.
Yep. And
They're
that's
not
this is like still global elo. Like this is
right.
from bronze all the way up to eternity celestial. So like it could be different than there, but like at the same time, when you do get
Oh,
to the higher ranks, people focus the Hela. They're like, okay, I have to get Hela off this off angle. Let me press her with like someone who maybe has a little bit more health, or maybe like I'm pressing her with like an Iron Fist. I'm pressing her with a tank. Like it's just people play into Hela, I think, a bit better now, even if like a Groot is banned. Groot helps against some of these Hellas because of the shielding. But I think it just really depends on like the comp right now, and people just can't hit their shot sometimes.
it's interesting to say this. She has a 48% win ratio. She's played 20% of matches in
Hmm.
Celestial. She's
Yep.
banned 10% of actual Celestial matches. That's insane.
Yeah,
That's
her
act
actually losing, it looks like the game she's not banned.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
shocking to say the least.
Yep.
Now, on the other hand, Cloak and Dagger, our favorite terrible support. Oh man, I'm gonna get heat for that one. I will say I don't mind Cloak and Dagger, but I just feel like they don't offer a whole lot in terms of like other than the ult. Like the heals are not bad, but I just feel like if it's just the auto aim type of heals aren't like they're good, but I think you get more reward from like someone like Invisible Woman or like Luna if you can hit your shots. Like if you hit your shots, you just are doing better and doing more. Like I don't know. I feel like she doesn't really have a whole like she's not good against dive. She struggles. She only can fade away or bubble herself, and that's it. And then like other than that, she gets countered by a lot of things right now. Hawkeye when she's ulting, Magneto when she's ulting. Like it's rough. I mean, she kind of just gets shut down, and then she goes from being ulting to kind of running away, and that's kind of like I don't know. She's in a weird spot, but people really like playing this hero. What did I do?
Yeah. No, you you clicked on the leaderboards for Cloak and Dagger, so you just go back. But no, I think the thing about like Cloak and Dagger too, and I think you hit it right in the head. Like they want, I think, more of a reward for you to be able to aim as a healer, and like I think it would be kind of bad in my opinion if Cloak and Dagger and like a Scarlet Witch were just top of the line, just super meta, like because you don't have to aim. Like Scarlet Witch did get a nice team up, and like that team up is good with Strange, and it can nuke people. But like at the end of the day, like if you can't aim, sure, like your bullets hit people, whatever. But like it's still a positioning thing, and I think like with Cloak and Dagger, you're like, oh, I can auto aim, I can shoot wherever, and I can still heal people. But like positioning is everything in this game. So yeah, maybe you can hit someone around this corner with Cloak and Dagger, but like if you're not on a good angle yourself, you're just gonna be taken out by dive. Like you said, your only escape is to go into cloak form, and it's just like very interesting to see like how people play this character when it comes to different elos and where this character kind of falls off. Because I think when you go more towards like a Celestial Eternity, you're like you said, you're gonna see more of a Luna Snow. You're gonna see more of an Invisible Woman or a Loki or an Adam or a Mantis, and it's because they just are better for what they do and what they can provide for the team, opposed to just a no aim heal.
You know, it's funny though is that she has almost a 50% pick rate. She's
Yep, everyone's a
nearly
Lord.
everyone has. I don't even have a Lord Cloak and Dagger. That's funny, and that's coming from the guy that has 15 Lords. Almost 18. I have like 3 Centurions. Oh yeah. No, but I mean 50%, like 49% picked, right? But she loses 48% of her matches. That's kind of bad.
Yeah, but like to be fair, like I know we're talking about like this win rate, of course, this is globally, but like when we're talking about like Celestial and we're talking about Eternity, what's really cool about Marvel Rivals is like each game can kind of be a coin flip, and like having above like a 55, I would say ish percent win rate in the higher elos is like crazy good because
Yeah.
a lot of the times when you're playing, it's win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. So like that's why like they implemented this really good system where like you get MVP, you lose less or whatever, like the performance based system, which maybe I'm not necessarily like the hugest fan of, but like this overall though, like this is all elos. So like having this win rate and this is the most played character, 730,000 matches this season as
I
Cloak
feel
and
like
Dagger. It's
she's
crazy.
not that played, or she's
No.
not played much at the higher ranks. Let me see here. She's played
Nope.
17% of matches in Celestial.
Mm-hmm.
Still having
And her
a
win rate
4
drops.
and her win rate drops.
Mm-hmm.
She's played less
Yep.
and still drops more.
Yep.
I feel like she falls off probably around Diamond. Cloak and Dagger has played 37%, 46%. Yeah. So it seems like she's more of like the lower ranked hero.
People
At the
play
end
more
of the
Jeff
day.
than they are.
Yeah, 53% in Diamond, 47%. So if you have a friend that's playing Cloak and Dagger and that's their main, you should tell them to swap if you want to win more.
Even though they
These
did get the
I have
buff from
like
16 to 18
I
damage.
have 3 friends that main Cloak and Dagger. And after looking at this, I'm gonna tell them I'm not losing based on the win percentages. I'm playing economics over here. On
No, they are them though. They are them. They are the
they are
Cloak and
them.
Dagger, the best in the world. So like they should
Yeah.
be able to play them, right?
I do want to skim through this because we are running out of time shortly. But Wolverine, 48%, and he's only picked 8%. I'm okay with this. I feel like Wolverine just I don't ever liked a world where he existed. And you know what? Banning Groot, if banning Groot gets rid of a hero just purely by itself, I'm okay with that. Like actually, I'm actually okay with that. Then we have Namor.
And no Wolverine.
Namor, surprisingly, only 48% with a 13% pick rate. Now, I do feel like he is picked more often if a Hulk is in play, so I want to know what the stats are on like that. Scarlet Witch, 48%, 15% pick rate. But yeah, we don't talk about Scarlet Witch.
We don't talk about the witch. We don't want her to be OP. We don't want her. We don't want like the Cloak and Dagger Scarlet Witch situations. Like, do we want Moira to be like in Marvel Rivals? Yes or no? Like, that's a
She
thing.
had her time in the beta. We saw. You know what? She was good in the beta. She was cool.
Oh, she was cracked in the beta.
She was
Like,
cool.
She was gross.
I thought she was. I think they revert her to how she was in the beta, and I would be fine.
I mean, with the flyer meta we're in right now, I think having her be a little bit more playable isn't the worst. Not necessarily like have her be super meta, but like
Right.
maybe a little bit more playable.
Yeah, I don't know. She's just in a tough spot. I think they buff her a little bit and be okay with it. The Thing. Now, I'm surprised by this, but the Thing, across all ranks, has a 47% win ratio? Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He doesn't seem like he's getting his win rate's not changed or anything.
Well, in a flyer meta, like the thing just is not good against flyers. He just gets picked.
This is true. This is true. I mean, he's good against dive when he needs to be. I do find
Hmm
that though that if I don't know if dive is as good as people make it out to be or make it sound to be, he's clearly not winning games even when it's around.
hmm
Star Lord down percentage. Interesting.
hmm
Interesting. 47%, and he's picked almost 10% of the time. Venom and Spider-Man. This one's like a tandem duo. 47% pretty much across the board for these two. And they are picked 11 and 16%. Interesting. Like, so you're telling me that he's picked a little above 15%, 16%, right? And you're
hmm
telling me that you're still losing?
Well, his one-hit combo with Venom is just the worst thing. You just can't get out of it. And even if it is on a 30-second cooldown, Spider-Man just is the worst person to face in the entire game. You know, like it is a problem, and Spider-Man has to be banned every single game because he's just broken.
Yes, this character, he's like, he is 27% banned, bro.
Yep.
Whoa, why? You're almost okay. Let me say this: if you let Spider-Man in the matches, apparently
hmm
you're giving that team a 47% chance. They're giving them less than half of a chance of winning by
But
just.
it's the thing, people aren't peeling, and I think that's at the end of the
I
day is
know.
people aren't playing their roles properly there, and like even like it's interesting to see, this is a week after Bucky just got, his buff too, where he now has two of his charges. So it'll be interesting to see how this looks next
In
week.
in gold,
Yeah.
he's banned 40% of the time.
Yep.
What in the platinum?
It,
Let me see here. 31. So he starts to die down.
mm-hmm.
Grandmaster 15%, and I skipped over diamond. 22. So it is really a lower elo problem. Lower elo
Yep.
players find Spider-Man hard to deal with. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
I have been saying that forever. I've been
Yep.
saying like people they can't. This is the problem with Spider-Man. They cannot distinguish players that are good players that are higher like level players. Oh, Spider-Man's not a problem. He gets countered, but you don't understand. Like you have to look at his kit. His
Yep.
kit is inherently struggling. It's so hard to fight against if you are new to the game.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like the most overwhelming thing. I mean, I've been an advocate for getting rid of this character forever. I'm just saying it. Like, I don't have a problem fighting him. I'm just saying though, like the kit is like he's not healthy for newer players. He's just not.
He's a noob destroyer.
He's a noob destroyer. Winter Soldier. Okay, now this one I find interesting. He now is back up to 20% pick rate,
Mm-hmm.
with 46% of his games still losing. Really? So he's in 20% of the games, but you're losing with him?
Yeah, his change to his ult, I think, while like the percentage damage, I think
20
definitely
to
has had an
15?
impact on the kick. Yeah, like even though it's 5%, like that still is a decent amount, especially like depending on what you're hitting. And I think if it depends comp wise too, like if you're playing into Loki's, you're gonna have a better, Winter Soldier matchup there because you can reset off his clones.
Right.
But like I said, maybe a week from now it'll be a bit better because people are using him more kind of to like counter dive, but like or just to counter the flyers being able to have that extra charge, because that charge knocks flyers to the ground. If you guys did not know, you have two of those now. So it'll be just interesting to see how this looks going forward. But I feel like people maybe are playing him a little bit differently or playing too much, maybe not into the Cap team up, but the Cap team up is very interesting with Winter Soldier, by the way.
Yeah. Now Hawkeye, very interesting. He
Mm-hmm.
is actually going up in win percentages
Yep.
across the board, even though everyone else around him is not. He's at 46%, right?
Mm-hmm.
46% win rate. So not very high. I mean, but he is a hard hero to use in the sense because you do need to have that raw, solid aim. But he is going up in win percentage change. Like he's actually going up, even though he's picked only 8% of matches. He's not even, he's not even picked that often, but he's making a miraculous 3% higher. That's actually kind of scary because if he's going up, that means that he might start having to be looked at here. This is actually kind of scary because for more future reference.
Mhm.
Invisible Woman picked 30%, 34% of matches, but yet she's losing 46%.
Mhm.
Interesting. That means that she's picked a lot, but losing.
Yeah,
That's
no, and I think that's another technical character. Like you like, oh, I can just play Invisible Man. I throw shield down. I just heal people. But like it's. I'm telling you, positioning in this game is freaking so important, and
yeah,
like it's being able to cycle through. Okay, well, I have a shield on this person for a little bit. I need to go to this next person. Like Invisible One is like the best healer in the game to be able to heal flyers, and I feel like people aren't necessarily using Invisible Woman that way because you could pocket people just so well. And her shield, of course, did get nerfed in the patch. And I say like the patch like it was last week, but it was like early in the season.
yeah.
But it
It
just
didn't
this
feel that bad.
character is it's not that bad, but like her kit it looks simple on paper, but like there's so many different ways to use it that I feel like not many people are optimizing it the right way.
Yeah. Now Magneto is dropping off quite a bit, even though he is
Yep.
a really like necessary pick. I think that
Hmm.
the more that this character is getting played, the more people are losing. I feel like people still don't know how to properly use Mag to the fullest. He is a
Hmm.
hard hero to use. He's an easy kit, but to get the most out of his kit is hard because you have to be very, very, very alert. He's a protective kind of tank.
Hmm.
46%, and he's almost played in almost 20%, being at 18% of his matches. So that's kind of interesting. I wonder, like, I feel like he's probably not played at the lower ranks a whole lot. Let me see here. Magneto picked at the gold. I feel like he'll probably go up in the higher ranks for sure. Let me see here. Yeah, so in the Celestial, he jumps up in win percentage. He goes up to 48%, and he's picked across 40, almost
Hmm.
40%. So clearly, as you go up higher, he's clearly being picked a lot more often. So that's where is he? Where did he go? Oh, he's right here. 47%. So yeah, as you start to climb up in rank, he starts seeing more
Hmm.
play and he starts seeing more win percentage. So good to know. On a character like Mag, you want to be using him towards if you're climbing higher and higher and higher, then you want to start using that kind of character.
Yeah, I think something to note as well, especially like when we're comparing healers to some of these like DPS and tanks as well, because the pool is a little bit smaller when it comes to like tanks and
Right.
healers. They're gonna have a higher percentage of games played, so their win rates might not be as high as some of like the DPS or duelists because that is the biggest category of people.
Right.
So you might see more like invisible women in your game, or you might see like the cloak and dagger. So like that definitely has an impact.
Right.
But at the same time, like I was saying, there's definitely levels to the way you can play a character. So your gold Magneto might be shooting the person in front of them, whereas like a Grandmaster or Celestial Magneto will be shooting behind
Yeah,
and
poking
trying to hit
behind.
the squishies and stuff.
Right.
So it's interesting just to see the different like ways this happens. And like with that being a 40%, percentage played for Magneto and higher elo, some of the time it may not fall back on the tank player. Maybe this maybe just tank bias for some of those losses. It may be that his duelist didn't perform the same way because comp wise and everything. Because Magneto is such a character you can play into pretty much any comp. I would say just about. Of course, if you're facing brawlers, you're not really wanting to play Magneto as much because your shield doesn't protect you from the brawlers. But just something I was thinking about when it comes to like comparing some of these characters.
Yeah. So Punisher, sadly, one of my favorite heroes of all
Yep.
time. I do wonder, will they ever buff him? I'm not saying he needs it. I'm not. I think he's in a fine
Hmm.
spot. He's always that character that's just like, if you're really good at aiming and you're really good at positioning, you can really like push this character to the limit, right? But he
Hmm.
just he's just so stationary to the point that it's rough. He has a 45% win rate. That is so bad. And he's picked across almost 10% of matches. Now, I do think he falls off in the higher ranks. I feel like he's probably not picked a whole lot. Let me see here.
Hmm.
Celestial, Punisher, 47%. He goes up. but he's only played 3%. That's not.
Yeah, you
That's
play
not,
Hela instead, or like
yeah, you'll get more
this game.
reward out of like a Hela Punisher. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
see, he doesn't see a whole lot of play, but I think he's probably played a lot more in the gold range.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's 12%. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he's probably played a lot more in the diamond platinum area. Let's see here, Punisher 9%. So yeah, he's kind of like in that
Mm-hmm.
sweet spot between that. I probably bronze too. He's probably picked super high. No, I'm wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about. This character's bad. Don't play him. I'm just an idiot. This character's bad. I wish to see what Punisher will be like in the future. I mean, he'll probably have his time
Use up his
eventually.
mobility.
He needs more mobility. Like that's his downfall.
Mm-hmm.
It's just rough. Maybe give him 2 grenade
If you
launchers.
can give Bucky 2 grenades, might as well give him 2 grenades, right?
Yeah, you know what? If you're gonna give Bucky 2 Kamehameha waves,
Mm-hmm.
how come the Punisher is not locked and loaded? He only brings 1 smoke bomb. He's
Mm-hmm.
not clearing out 1 room. He's got to clear out 2 rooms, dude. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now.
That's so funny.
Yeah, you know what though? That makes sense. 2 grenade launchers. I mean, 2 smoke bombs. Like, come on. That's a good mobility move.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of needed. I mean, Salak gets 2 dashes.
It's true.
She gets
All
2.
these other DPS or
And
duelists have different ways to escape.
And if she does damage, they come up quicker.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't he have 2 extra ammo? Is he?
Headshots give Punisher reduced cooldown on his,
Here's my thing.
grenade.
The Punisher is a guy that has a lot of weapons. You're telling me that this guy can't wear a backpack?
No, it's too heavy. It'll slow his mobility even more.
That's some shenanigans. So okay, Moon Knight. You know, after his buffs, I thought he was going to be really good, and he's still surprisingly doing terrible. He just gets dove. He doesn't have answers. Even with his heal buffs, and he's picked a good amount, 12% across all ranks.
Another noob owner.
Yeah, like if you're playing Moon Knight, he's great fun. It's just I think his changes to his ult really ruined him. I wouldn't mind having his ult back to where it was at.
Yeah.
Like I think that was a glitch. Apparently they said it was a bug.
Mm.
I don't care. That thing was fun. It felt good. You felt like it was usable.
Mm-hmm.
So, Luna across the board, 45% win rate. That's crazy considering that she's picked 22% of the time. This has got to be the most skill check hero I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean you have to hit your shots with her. Like it's less like some of these other healers. Like you're like, okay, well it bounces back and can hit my teammate. You know, like with Invisible Woman or like Rocket, you can bounce on the ground. But like with Luna, it is legit pinpoint. You actually like have to hit.
Yeah. Now, the last 3, I just think we clump them together. They're just not them. They're not them. Sadly, it is quite sad that they are not really the heroes that you wish them to be. They're kind of bad, but they're just not going to be picked. If they're picked in your games, you just know you're losing. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Luna, I was shocked about, considering that she's near Jeff, but
she's played a lot. She's like 150,000 more games than Jeff. But
yeah. So, well, Tuck, this is going to be the end of the podcast. I want to say thank you for coming on. Is there anything else that you want to say before you leave? Anything else?
I want to say, well, thank you so much for having me here. If you guys want to see some live Rivals content, definitely check it out. Stuff be down below. But yeah, thank you so much for having. Make sure also, if you guys are not subscribed to this channel, you guys need to be subscribed to this channel. You guys need to hit that like button.
My man.
You also need to be following Chaos on his other socials that'll be down in the description as well.
Yeah. Tuck, thank you for filling in for Chris. Chris, sadly, he got the spring flu and he's not feeling too well. I hate getting sick during the spring and summertime. It's the worst. But thank you for filling in, man. We really appreciate it. If you guys can, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below letting us know, what other things that, you want to talk about in terms of the, win percentages. What's your thoughts? Talk to us below in the comments. And Tuck, I want to say and give you just a small invite. If Chris is ever sick again, or if I'm sick, we'd love to have you on board, man. You're a great fill-in, and we appreciate you subbing in for the homie.
Yeah, I'd be down.
All right, man. Well, you guys, catch you guys in the next one. Peace.